Hello and welcome to another episode of What to Pick. This is the video series where I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And today's first starting hand is a decision between Ecoline and Astrodrill. By the way, we're playing with all expansions that are currently available on Steam, which is Prelude, Venus Next, and the two promo packs. Yeah, Ecoline or Astrodrill, especially on Tharsis, Ecoline usually is much better. And the preludes are good. Each of them has its upsides for Ecoline. So Ecoline really likes heat prot because with Ecoline you like to rush. You already have plant prot, so the other prot you need is heat prot to rush. So Morehole is quite nice. Early settlement, of course, gives you a bit more plant prot, which is nice for Ecoline and the city to convert around. Also pretty good. Dome farming, same reasoning, but also helps your economy. Also grants you a plant prot, which can be super good if you have insects or NRA on hand. And then mining ops just helps you get going at the start of the game, which is really, really nice for Ecoline because you're quite poor with that corp. But probably I would go for Mohole and Dome farming, but let's see what we get. First of all, we have actually an asteroid card on hand. That's super rare. There are not a lot of asteroid cards in the deck, so this could be used as a setup for Astrodrill. But I still think Ecoline would be better. Although there's not much on this starting hand for Ecoline. Holy crap. Basically, Cupola City, SP your power, get Cupola down. That could be something you want to go for. Pets is okay. But other than that, like, obviously you're picking up Earth Office. That's always a good card. Other than that, you lack basically everything for Ecoline. There's no more heat prot, no cheap development cards, no tile placements other than Cupola, which is hard to get down. Really not a great starting hand for Ecoline. If I would determine to go for Ecoline, I'd probably pick these four maybe. Although Development Center really isn't great in combination with Cupola here, because for both you need a power prot and you don't have any power production cards. You could think about, instead of dome farming, picking early settlement. So together with Cupola, you could try to push for Mayor and Gardener. That's a possibility. Extractor balloons is bad in any case. For Ecoline, it's super bad. Ice cap melting, you could think about picking up, but it's super late. And you have low starting capital, so you don't want to pay the 3 MC so early on for this card. Directed Impactors doesn't make any sense for Ecoline. Open City, too late, you don't have any steel prot if you don't pick up mining ops. Advanced Ecosystems, again, a late game point card is not what you want to pick up with Ecoline. You're too poor for that. A Lightning Harvest, we don't have any science and it's not a super great card anyways. And then the other card that you could think about is Development Center. But again, if you want to go for Mayor, you don't have any power prot for Cupola anyways. And hoping to get 2 power prot in a draft or SPing for both is just not great. You could think about picking it up because you don't have anything to play Gen 1 other than maybe pets if you want to. I think pets you definitely want to pick up because you also have Earth Office, and Earth Office is always a good card. So maybe these 4, that could be something for Ecoline. If we were going for, like, with this starting hand, you honestly could also go for Astrodrill because really there's not much for Ecoline here other than good preludes. With Astrodrill, you definitely don't need Morehole, especially because you're going to use directed impactors to increase the temperature. So with that corp, I'd probably go for mining ops because development, and then either dome farming or early settlement. And early settlement again, just to go for Mayor. It's tough. These preludes don't fit Astrodrill as well. Probably I'd go for dome farming and skip the Mayor plan. Here I'd definitely pick these 4 again, but also directed impactors and maybe also open city because we're going for mining ops. And then probably keep it with those 6 cards. Not great for either corp, but at least for Astrodrill, you finally got an asteroid card. So yeah, probably just D6 for Astrodrill, but I think I'd rather go for the Ecoline line. But yeah, that's it. Pretty depressing starting hand, but let's get to the second one. Okay, hand number 2, we have Inventrix versus Splice. Splice really isn't great. Inventrix can be really nice, so let's pick that for now. We are on Hellas. No planner for Inventrix. Let's see if that makes any difference here. Galilean mining is a bit better on Hellas because of Rim Settler. Not a great prelude though. Eco Experts can be nice for Splice or Inventrix, depending on the card, especially for Splice because you get 4MC back. So let's take these two for now, see what we get. Okay, sadly, no card for Eco Experts, but we have a lot of Jovians. So basically, we're pushed into Galilean. Callisto Penal Mines and Wife. Also nothing really for Inventrix here, but no single microbe card means we have directed impactors again. Weird. Not a single microbe card means for me Splice is off the table. Inventrix, at least you get the card draw and 1 science tag for Dawn City, which I probably want to pick up here. I take Media Group Imported as well as Interstellar Colony Ship, because we want to go for a bit of science anyways. We have 1 science tag on the corp already, and we have a lot of titanium prod, so ICS makes sense. Then Directed Impactors is not a great card in my opinion. Food Factory is F tier, never picked that up. Air Scrapping Expedition, we don't have a floater card on hand yet, so I wouldn't pick it up even with Media Group. And Windmills is just not a card you want to pick up on a starting hand because it comes down so late. So probably, I think this is quite an easy hand to pick. It's probably these 6 and these 2 preludes for maximum titanium prod. Eco Experts is useless without a card for it, and Self-Sufficient Settlement, sure, you could pick that instead of Metals Company, maybe get the South Pole Ocean, but Metals Company is just, in my opinion, a much better prelude, a lot of development, and we have quite a few titanium targets with Imported, Dawn, Wife, Callisto, ICS, so it doesn't hurt to get the 3 titanium prod here. So yeah, I think, honestly, this was an easy hand for me, so I think these 6 Splice is not worth it in any case. And yeah, you just try to go for Jovians, find some card draw. You have the titanium prod, you have the multiplier, you just need card draw. So yeah, that was an easy one. Let's get to the last one. And the last game is, again, a choice between Inventrix, but this time Viron. Funnily enough, another microbe corp. And this time we're on Elysium, so the microbe tag actually does help for ecologists. Allied Bank is always an easy prelude to keep. It's basically useful in every scenario. Aquifer Turbines is also quite good. Not as good on Elysium, where the ocean placements are not as strong as, for example, on Tharsis. There's no 2 card or 2 mineral spot, only a few plants. But it can still be useful. The other 2 are not that great. Let's see if they combo with anything we got on hand. Oh, I wish this time we got Eccentric Sponsor. Not Eccentric Sponsor. What's it called? Ecology Experts for Kelp. Would have been great. What were the preludes again? Aquifer and Allied. We have no action card, so I think Viron is off the table here. So it's again Inventrix for lack of a better option, I think. And also Inventrix help. In this time, Inventrix actually has quite a strong upside in kelp farming, allowing us to play kelp at 4 oceans already. And then we have a lot of really good titanium targets, or at least a lot of okay titanium targets, but this time no titanium prod. Imported Nutrients is a good payoff if you have a microbe tag, a microbe collecting card. We don't have one this time, so maybe it's not an easy keep in the starting hand. Atmoscoop is one of my favorite corps out of Venus Next. Sadly, not a lot of science on the starting hand. We have Inventrix and we have standard tech. It's not enough, really. We don't have building techs, so the other two preludes with their steel prod or steel are not that great. Indentured Workers is an easy keep. Big Asteroid is an easy keep. Lava Flows on Elysium is especially good if you get to put it on Olympus Mons. And then standard tech always is quite nice with this flexibility. We could use it to put oceans down for kelp, for example, and it's another science tech for Atmoscoop. And then Asteroid is probably also an easy keep. In this situation, I would definitely skip Lunar Metropolis because we have no other Earth techs. Phobos is not that great. It's just not that good value. It grants Titanium Prod, which we can use for a lot of cards here, yes. But we're not keeping Lunar Metropolis. We're probably not keeping Important Nutrients. And it's just not that efficient. And then Important Nutrients itself, we don't have any combo potential for it. We don't have a microbe collecting card yet. I wouldn't keep it on the starting hand here, probably. The good thing about this card is it can be a strong payoff in the mid to late game because it's so easy to combo. It's a space event with an Earth tech, so you have a lot of combo potential for it. And it's just quite cheap, and oftentimes it's useful even for just for the plants. But if you also have microbe collecting card, it can be insane. But yeah, in this case, I probably wouldn't keep it. I probably would go with these 7 cards. Put Aquifer Turbines. With 7 cards, we get down to 24. We put Aquifer Turbines on a card, probably. Go down to 21. And then Gen 1, we just play Indentured into Lava Flows on Olympus Mons, or just even Lava Flows. Because you will draw 3 cards as your first action. So you can't do Indentured Workers into Lava Flows instantly. And you don't want anyone else to take this spot. So just put down Lava Flows immediately and use Indentured Workers in Gen 2 for something else. That is probably what I would do here. Again, I don't see a reason to pick Viron because we don't have an action card. So this ability is just completely useless if we don't find something in the Gen 2 draft or Gen 3 draft. And I'd rather just take the 3 cards here as well as the Inventrix ability for kelp farming, which is really helpful here. So yeah, that is what I would pick in this scenario. Let me know in the comments if you had decided any differently in any of these starting hands. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I hope I see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys, and goodbye.